up to that. Okay. And that's quite the, yeah, black screen, really great way to start. Hey guys, welcome to the final stream of 2018. I've been going through some of the best games of 2018, and I can't end 2018 without going over some of the RPGs. I do promise to keep this spoiler-free, and the RPG section will be relatively short. Essentially, I'm not showing any of the story. This is on a completed save file. I'm not going to show any stories, I'm not going to show any quests. Rather, I've just taken some characters, I'm going to go around the world, talk about the game a bit, and show off some of the combat for both this and the other RPG that took up my time in 2018. But we're starting with Square Enix's Octopath Traveler. On top of that, I'm making sure that this is an area that you can play in the demo version, so I'm really going out of my way to ensure nothing gets spoiled. So, two big things about the game right off the bat is the presentation. You got such a unique visual style going into this. What they call the HD 2D style.
Let's see what you got.
And then you've got the soundtrack, and this is just
Bring it on!
Battle theme. Fully orchestrated but strong melody lines to evoke that feeling of an old school classic RPG. Alright, well, we have entered a random encounter, so let's start combat. Every character can do a physical attack. Each one has certain weapons that they can use depending on what job you equip. Each character also has a talent. Alvin's is Cop, which is elemental attacks that do very little damage but are good for breaking weaknesses. Okay, the job you equip, they also get skills, so Alvin is both an apothecary and a scholar right now. You can equip two jobs, although you do have to unlock the second one by finding. I'll just say by exploring the overworld you get the secondary jobs. And finally you can use items. You can defend, or you can try to flee the battle. Note that if you do not manage to flee from the battle, you will trip, and essentially lose a turn and the enemy attacks you. So, try not to do that against high-level foes. And I'm in a very low-level area right now. Okay. An apothecary is mostly a healer. He can heal HP, fix status ailments. There are a few axe-related arts and an ice spell. I'm gonna actually take advantage of his concoct. Raising this dust, I can hit all the enemies, and this one is dark elemented.
How do you like this?
There we go.
I will not be thy
There are different icons under the enemies that show what they're weak to, and if you hit them with an attack that matches that icon, such as the dark attack I just did, they will lose shield points. And you want to get all the shield points down so that they become broken, unable to attack you, and much lower defense. That's how you get most of your damage off. Therion here can use a dagger or a sword. He is a thief by nature, so he can steal things and do some debuffs on the enemies. And also fire spell if you're interested. I've also given him the role of Dancer, which gives him access to dark magic and team buffs. There we go, some of the enemies are just broken, so
letting the hunt
not able
begin.
to do anything right now. Onyx, Hunter by nature, has access to Beast Lore, which you can actually try to capture the monsters you battle, and then summon them for later use. Kinda like Pokemon, you have a better chance if you lower their HP as close to 0 as you can. She's a hunter by nature, so she focuses on her bow skills. She also wields an axe. Because she's a warrior as well, I've got her with swords and lances. Warrior, you can raise your own defense and tank hits, you can raise your own offense, and then come at them with really powerful sword and spear strikes. So what I'm gonna do with her right now... I'm gonna do Rain of Arrows, because those two are...
Rain and arrows up on them.
Low accuracy on that one, but enough.
The hunt
to get
ended.
the job done. Then everyone gains experience points, job points, and money. All of which are good things. I did not get to mention Ophelia there, because the battle was very short. You can run to move faster, but you will face more encounters that way. I mean, you want more encounters.
Let's see what you got.
My god, what is with my throat?
Letting my arrow fly and true.
We get first strike, okay. One of the best skills that the hunter has is leg hold trap, especially against bosses. Makes everyone move at the end of a turn. I'm gonna use it on this guy.
Better than a snare.
Don't really need it because we have the advantage and these are low-level enemies, but
Here we go.
just to show that off, the turn order is up there at the top of the screen. Like most RPGs, you've got HP for your health, that's self-explanatory. SP is your magic, you need that in order to do your skills. But then there's also a yellow dot above the health meter, that is your BP, or your boost points. So you can actually choose to do multiple actions. But, let me rephrase that. You can do multiple physical attacks, or you can strengthen or skill-based attacks. By spending boost points. And you can spend up to 3 on a single turn. Making for a really powerful spell, or 4 different attacks all at once. Depends on the situation. By spending all 3, you can also use your character's divine skill if you level them up to that point. So each one is different, but they are godly skills that are insanely helpful during boss fights. So a lot of time you want to be able to stand back and build up your boost points while you break the enemy, and then while they're broken, you use all your boost points to unleash your most devastating attacks. This is all in tandem with some additional skills that you can equip to a pause menu. So, yeah, it's really something. Once again, my best option is probably to use a concoction.
How do you like this?
My turn. An ode to the night.
Well then,
At night I like to click the control sticks in rhythm with the song. Okay, I'll stop now. Ophelia is a cleric by nature. She can summon companions into battle if you have found one in the overworld. They all do different things, so pick wisely. As a cleric, she can heal the whole group at once. She also uses light-based magic and can augment our elemental defense. I've also given her the merchant's job, which can collect money from the enemies, heal themselves, use wind magic, dodge attacks entirely, or give extra BP, the stuff I just mentioned, to an ally, and that is an insanely good skill to keep in mind, by the way. I'll use trade
the winds of fortune!
and that's that.
I hope I grow more able.
There are, of course, 4 other characters, each with their own story, their own job, skills, etc. This game loves to throw hidden tabs at you like that, so I thought I'd quickly show that off. But again, this very early area I've already cleared out, so you can actually see what is in the treasure.
Now, let us hunt him.
I did manage to finish all 8 stories in the course of 2018. Which I'm proud of, because there was another one.
Come in, if
Now, I'm
thou
100%
darest.
finished the game. There is very much endgame stuff that I haven't done yet that comes after all
I'll do my
8
best.
stories. And I've started working on that, but it's not at a point where it's done yet. Do I have anything that is... Hey, thank you, Tron TTV, for the follow. Very much appreciated. I hope my little overview of Octopath Traveler here has been enjoyable for you. Again, I'm not showing off a ton of the game, I just wanted to mention it because it is one of the best of 2018. Stick around during the rest of the night, you'll see a few more games that are in the best of 2018. Once I'm done showcasing this game, we're moving on to Xenoblade Torna in another spoiler-free showcase, followed by Sushi Striker and Nintendo Labo. Sushi Striker might not sound all that great, but I assure you, it was one of the best games of 2018. I intend to prove why. I don't really have a good option for breaking that last guy, so maybe I'll go into my items. See if I have a Shadow Soul Stone. Now, if you don't have very many options, never hurts to look at your items.
Take this!
And even though Ophelia doesn't usually use dark magic,
I
right there,
hope I grow more able.
it does use up the item. You can, Soul Stones are not usually sold in shops, so, think of them as limited use items. You don't wanna ditch them all willy-nilly. This is a save point. The game will auto-save from time to time when you switch screens, but it is also good to remember, especially if you're grinding things out on a single screen, that you want to check in at this save point when you can. The game is very good about placing them, too. If you're going to be in a dungeon for a while, they make sure that they put one at the start of the dungeon, sometimes in the middle of longer dungeons, and then always right before a major boss battle. You never have to worry about going into a major boss battle without a save point, because they will give you one. The game is very fair. And, replicating old school RPGs, you might think, oh, well, it's not gonna be fair. It's gonna be hard as balls and gonna be a complete grind fest, and the game is just gonna kick me into unfair situations. No, nothing like that. The game's combat system is thoroughly enjoyable. I really only gave you a taste of it because I'm not moving beyond this first area. Let's get in one more bit of combat.
Come on, I've got better things to do.
I didn't really show off very many of the buffs. I think I'll do just that. There is this one skill. Bewildering Grace causes a curious effect to occur. This is complete RNG. But these are low-level enemies, so I've got nothing to worry about.
This world is full of mysteries.
Okay, it gave us a wind attack, and drained all my SP. Yeah, that can be
Miss
good
it
or
me,
bad.
letting the hunt beginning.
But my agility is much higher than them, so they're gonna have a hard time hitting me in the first place. Warrior skills, level slash, hit them all with a sword. Oh, I missed them. That's ironic.
Alright!
To be fair, Hanet probably has the lowest accuracy of the party. What are my weapons? All I have right now is an accurate stab. That's great. Maybe I can just murder them with lightning, even though they're not weak. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about!
I'm high level enough that these guys are not gonna faze me whatsoever. Here's an example of an early dungeon. A lot of dungeons are cave-like. Now you head into this cave, you get this really eerie but calming dungeon song that I'll be quiet for a second. Hello, what are you doing here? Oh, I forgot, in the very first, they stopped doing this later in the game, but very early on they actually give you a small shopkeeper in front of the dungeon save point. You can buy HP, SP, restoring items, as well as a revive from the dead item. I've got plenty right now, but I'm kinda glad I went in here. I forgot they did that.
Want a tangle, huh?
My turn now.
How about all the human enemies are so much taller than anyone in our party? And like the big boss enemies, they're really tall. Very exaggerated. But I like it. Give them style. How about for our merchant skill, trade temper? And they're dead. They're dead right off the bat. I'll hit you 2 times with a
Don't
sword.
start
Now
things you
you're
can't
dead, too.
finish.
I do get little bonuses there. You get extra money if you don't take damage. You get extra experience if you break the enemy. And you get extra job points if you manage to beat them all. I think domination means beat them all in 1 turn. I forget if that's the case or not. Or maybe it's just beat them all in the same turn. I don't know, never really looked into it. As you can tell, the bonuses are not incredibly big. It's like an extra 10%, so you shouldn't worry about going out of your way for those bonuses. Because again, the game is fair. Like, it gives you a little reward for not taking damage, but this is an RPG where you are going to be taking damage some of the time. They don't expect quality run. Alright, I'll show off a little bit of the pause menu, but then we are going to be switching games soon, because again, if I show off too much more here, I'd worry about getting into spoilers, and I am trying to keep the RPG section spoiler-free. Alright, so on the menu, you can adjust settings, you can go through the tutorial anytime, return to the title screen. So, hit status, you can view your party members' stuff, all the details about them, including their current stats, their path actions, and talents. I won't show the skills, just in case anyone considers those a spoiler, but you can learn them by spending job points or equip support skills that you get along the way, just little bonuses. The more regular skills you learn, the more support skills you unlock. Jobs. Each of your character has a job that they stick with throughout the game, but if you unlock secondary jobs, this is where you can go to change them out. Equipment, self-explanatory, give yourself better stats by changing your gear. There is a dedicated healing button, and I wish more RPGs did this, that you can use your character's healing skills outside of battle. It's right there, nice little shortcut on the pause menu, this is so appreciated. Your inventory, in case there's anything you want to break out from the items. Journal will actually help you track your progress with both the main story and the side stories, so if you're ever wondering if you've been away from the game and you forgot what you were doing, or what you might need to do, go into your journal. Or if you just want to recap things that you've already done. Finally, world map. I won't show a ton of it. You go around the continent of Orstera. And it also lets you fast travel anytime. So I'm gonna go back to where we started, Cobblestone. Just is like that. So as soon as you reach a town, it becomes a fast travel point. There is never any danger from going into town. You're guaranteed to have a safe point nearby. You're guaranteed to have an inn that you can stay at if you want to heal your HP and SP. You're guaranteed to have a shop. Sometimes the weapons store and the drugstore are separate. Sometimes they're combined into a general store like this. Depends on the town. Towns are also where you get the majority of your side quests and talk with NPCs. Oh, but I guess speaking of which, final thing I'm gonna mention mechanic-wise. And I might still be missing some mechanics. I apologize if that's the case, but it's an extensive RPG. It teaches you everything you need to know very well. And I'm trying to sum things up in like 20 minutes, so forgive me if I miss anything. But past actions and talents, the actions that you can do based on your character's specific job, apply outside of battle as well. So see that little hand icon? Therion is a thief. If I press Y, I can actually try to steal from the NPC. Depending on the NPC, you have different chances of success. But this guy's just a little kid in the first area, so his marble is mine now. There are 4 types of actions, and there is the noble method and the less noble method for each. So Therion's way of getting items is by stealing them, but another character is a merchant who can purchase the items instead. Right, Bonnet is a hunter who can provoke people into battles, but Ulbrich is a warrior who can challenge people to battles. Let's play out differently. And I mentioned in a battle earlier, Ophelia can recruit allies with her guide ability. There is another one who tries to allure them. The other difference this creates is that if you're doing the good person's version of the action, you might need to be a certain level for it to work with different NPCs. Whereas if you're doing the not-so-good version of that action, it comes down to a percentage and some RNG. So, Therion has a random chance of stealing from people, and it could be insanely low sometimes. Other times it's a guarantee. Or even still somewhere in between, depending. But the character who can purchase things, it doesn't come down to a percentage, it comes down to A, are they willing to sell to you? And B, do you have the money to pay for it? Alvin here can inquire, you get a little blurb about this NPC. So, I mean, they have little blurbs for every NPC in the game if you really want to go deep into the backstory. Some of them are really funny. So I highly recommend checking out the ones that the game will let you. But again, if it comes down to a random chance, you might not want to risk losing reputation in town by failing. Because, fail too much on those random chances and you won't be able to do it at all. Without paying a significant fee to the barkeep to fix it. And with that, I think I have covered everything that I wanted to mention about Octopath Traveler. Again, gorgeous looking game, gorgeous sounding game, phenomenal combat system. This is my game of the year. Which is saying something, considering what's coming up next. Alright, well, that's been the Octopath Traveler section of this Best of 2018 montage. Up next, in just a few moments, I'm switching to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country. Again, gonna try to keep things spoiler-free while showing off what I liked about that RPG. So, if you're interested in Xenoblade Torna, stick around. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed Octopath Traveler and have a good night. But, yeah, if it was